So this is after day one of the meeting here in Delhi, and we want to share with all of you some of the discussion that we've had. We've had a good time getting to know each other better, learning new things about one another, which is something that's very important. We all work together as a team, but we don't always come together as a team. And so as much as we'd like to have everyone present, and I haven't forgotten, we're still planning the all-staff retreat. This is an important way to end the fiscal year that ended just 30th of March and beginning the new year. And looking back and see what we've been able to accomplish. We've had big plans, but we've achieved a lot. And now looking at the plans as we move ahead. This afternoon we spent a lot of time on communication, and I want to go back to one of the first issues of Bhuvarta. I think probably half of you weren't on staff at that time. But there was a story that I told at that time, and actually it was more in the form of a question. And it asked, who's your boss? And here in India, we often think of boss as being the Indian country director, or the state director, or the communications manager, or somebody who is in a hierarchical position that is above me. What I suggested in that article, and what I'd like you to think about, is your boss is really that person at the field level that has nothing and doesn't expect much either, quite frankly, because their place in life and what's been given them isn't much. But that's who we work for. That's our boss. So if you haven't seen that Bhuvarta, we're going to include that column again in the next coming issue, because I think it's important that we all remember who it is that we work for and why we work for them. So I'd ask you to think about those questions as you think about the coming year. Now, the coming year is exciting. Lots of activities, and we heard from the communications people what's been accomplished, but also how they're going to take communications forward in order to be able to multiply your work. All of you that are in the field and in the offices, we want to see our work expand and have more impact. And certainly we're driven by metrics and by achieving the goals and objectives that we've planned and agreed upon when we signed up for working with Landesa. But communications is a great tool, and so we've heard about all the plans and all about the excitement that comes from that. We look forward to those. We also look forward to hearing more from people in the field that make all this possible. And so I'd like to invite you to think about those stories. Several months ago, we found out that you're all excellent communicators, that you all know how to write good stories. And you've done a wonderful job in helping your communications managers and others identify some of those stories. And those will be presented in Life After Pata, as well as in the video that was being done for USAID, and we'll have a global audience as well. If you haven't had a chance, look at Tim's video at school. He uses a very simple story from a woman in AP, but you know those stories. And those are the kinds of stories that motivate people to provide resources for the work we do, but it also should provide that internal motivation that we all need to get up every morning and continue the work that we're doing. So I'm encouraged by today. It's still a very complex issue, and we were all asked to say one word about today, and my word is complex, because when we deal with land issues, when we deal with government, when we deal with communities, when we deal specifically with land, it's very complicated, it's complex. And I want to again thank you and encourage you to continue that hard work so that this year we're able to have even bigger impact than this past year.